Now, what if I told you that the reason you haven't been landing clients from all your cold outreaches and cold emails is not because it doesn't work anymore, but because you have been doing it completely wrong? Well, this is what I observed to be the case with 99% of freelance video editors and content agencies that I've talked to and coached over the last couple of years. And for a long time as well, in the past, I was struggling with landing any clients with this method. So in this video, I'm going to be sharing with you some of the most common cold outreach and also cold email mistakes that people make on a regular basis so that you can hopefully avoid them and actually start landing some clients from all of this time that you are putting into it. My name is Vince and I've been working in the content agency space, and I started out as a freelance video editor at this point over 5 years ago, scaled a content agency to multiple 6 figures a year, and now we help other people do the same thing as well. So let's start with the first mistake that I wrote down, which is writing super long emails and messages and at the same time not being fully clear and concise, right? So this is a really common mistake that people make, when you think that the longer you write, the more people are going to trust you and trust your emails. And it's just simply not the case, okay? If you write literally 15, 20, 30 sentences in an email, nobody's going to read it. That's the truth, right? So what you need to do is you need to actually get your message across in as short and as concise of a way as humanly possible. And not only that, but you also want to clear about your offer. Now, everything I'm saying in this video is just my opinion and what worked for me, but I'm telling you, if people, even after reading your long ass email, cannot tell what you actually have to sell or how your service is going to be able to benefit them, they're not going to respond to you, and they are definitely not going to get on a call with you, okay? So it's really important to keep it short and concise, and also make sure that by the end of them reading it, they will understand what you do and how you can actually help them. Now, the second mistake that's very common is having too direct of a CTA or asking for too much at the end of the email. So if you're immediately asking people if they want to sign up for your service or if they are interested, or even if you're directly asking them to get on a call, it's kind of like meeting a girl for the first time and asking her if she wants to marry you, right? It's probably not going to happen. So what you need to do is you need to get some micro commitments first before you would try to sell someone your thing, right? At the end of the day, everybody knows that the reason you are emailing them is because you have something to sell them, but people don't like being sold to, but they do like to buy, okay? So there is a little distinction between those two things. The key thing is you want to make the prospect feel like they were the ones who wanted to buy and not like they were sold to. Now, easy way to go around this is, let's say instead of asking at the end of your emails as the call to action to book a call, or asking them if they would be interested, which is a really big ask, it's a really big question. What you can do instead is say hey, I recorded a quick 2 to 3 minute video for you going over how my offer could potentially help you. Would you be interested in me sending it over to you, right? Or could I send it over? And then all they have to respond to that is yes. They haven't had to commit to a call, they haven't had to commit to buying your shit, right? They just committed to first hearing a little bit more through the form of a quick video. So this can work really well because, again, it's a lot lower commitment and it helps to build up more trust. And the more yeses you can get out of the prospect in a short period of time, the more likely they will be to actually take one of those bigger commitments, like getting on an actual call with you. Now, the third mistake is not mentioning previous case studies and results if you have them, right? I've talked to a lot of video editors, a lot of content agency owners who have got some clients in the past from 10,000 to 100,000 subscribers, or who made some videos that got millions of views, or who were able to help a client get $500,000 in cash collected in 6 months of working with them. And they've got all these amazing results, but they don't mention it in their first opener emails. Now, you gotta understand that we are in the middle of a trust recession, right? So people don't trust other people's emails. So if you don't put actual case studies, actual facts into your emails, it's really unlikely that someone's gonna take your word for being good at what you do, right? People don't believe you, but they believe what your clients say about you. So if you have case studies, if you have previous results, I would highly encourage you to actually mention them in your first opener email or your first opener message, because that's going to immediately separate you from 90% of other people and kind of give you some more credibility to start with. Now, the fourth mistake I see is not paying any attention to your social media presence, because you're going to be saying well, I only want to do cold emails, or I only want to do cold DMs, so I don't really need to make any YouTube videos, or I don't need to make any Instagram content or LinkedIn content, right? And I get it if you don't want to be in front of the camera, but guess what everybody is going to do after they open your email or a cold message, and let's say they actually even liked it, right? What's the first thing they're going to do? Well, they will try to find out more about you. They will go on your YouTube channel, they will go on your Instagram, and they will see what you are actually about. So if you don't have any sort of content there, you don't have any client interviews, any case studies, any educational content, well, guess what? People are not going to necessarily take you as seriously as they could, right? Now, it helps if you have a really good landing page, let's say, where you can still present everything about you, but if you don't exist outside of your cold email or cold DM, well, guess what? Everybody's going to just assume that you are another random internet scammer. So it's really important to also pay attention to your socials and try to produce some sales assets there, some amazing content that people can watch and learn more about you, how your offer works, and why you're actually good. Then the fifth mistake is not sending nurturing content as follow-ups. Now, you know that you need to be doing follow-ups, and if you're not doing them right now, you're not using a CRM, you're not actually following up with all your leads, well, then you are completely missing out. But let's just say you are, right? I'm going to give you the benefit of the doubt and say that you are consistently following up with all your leads. Good job. But guess what? If you are not sending them any sort of nurture content or content that they could consume and actually build trust with you, right? Then it's still not going to be as effective. So what I mean by nurture content is you could send them, let's say, an interview that you did with one of your previous clients that you got some great results for, right? And if they watch that after having seen it from your email, and they are going to be like, damn, like this guy actually seems to know what he's doing. He's got some great results for his clients. Let me actually respond to his email, right? So oftentimes these nurture contents can really turn a prospect around from being super skeptical to being like, hey, let me give it a chance. It seems like he knows what he's doing. Now, if you don't have a case study or you don't have client interviews, don't worry. You could totally also do just like a Loom video where you have a Miro board on the screen and you break down your strategy that you are using, let's say, or anything like that, right? You just want to send over some content that people can watch in the meantime after, receiving your email and before booking a call to build up more trust with you, learn more about your offer, and see some of your credibility, right? And again, this can take your outreach to an entire next level. If you're not using any sort of sales assets, anything to nurture people, right, in your follow-ups, then that's definitely something to look into. Then the sixth mistake I see a lot of people making, and I've made this myself as well, is not understanding platform limitations and email deliverability. Now, what are these two different things? Number one, platform limitations. How many DMs, how many direct messages can you actually send in an hour, in a day from a certain account without getting your account restricted? If you don't know these guidelines, you don't know the rules of the game, well, guess what? You are going to break them and you will get your account either even terminated or banned, but at least restricted, right? So you will not be doing well if you run into those mistakes. So number one, you want to understand that whatever platform you are using for your DMs, whether it's LinkedIn, X, Instagram, you want to understand what limits do you need to be operating within on a day-to-day basis. And then with email deliverability, that's a hard word to pronounce for a non-native English speaker. It is also really important, right, that you understand the topic, you understand what are the different things that can lower it for you, and how can you make sure that all your emails that you are sending actually get delivered into your prospects' inboxes. Now, if right now you're not getting any responses and you don't even know your email deliverability because you're not using a software like Instantly, let's say, to actually see your open rates and so on. So how are you expecting to beat your competition when all your emails are landing in your prospect's inbox and yours are going into spam? It's never going to happen. So you also need to understand the importance of it and learn what are the things that you need to be looking out for and how to keep your domains healthy to make sure your emails land in your prospect's inbox. Do it. So I hope you found these 6 tips helpful. If you want to be learning more about how we can as well help at my company Grow Creatives to scale your agency to 12K a month and beyond, especially if you're a content agency owner, then you can check out the first link in the description below to learn more about us. And other than that, I hope you enjoyed and I will see you in the next one.